Welcome to Community Updates. I'm Emmanuel Ortiz.
And I'm Victoria Straight. On Wednesday, August 18th, from 1 to 5 p.m., Conant Public Library will be hosting Board Game Afternoon. Enjoy the lazy days of summer playing board games with friends. Board games for patrons of all ages will be available in the Baker Room. If you have any questions, call Conant Public Library at 978-422-6409. The Sterling Senior Center Classic Car Road Rally will be on Thursday, August 12th at 5 p.m. and will start at Choxet Middle School. To enter your car, you must register, and you can do so by calling Pam or Rob at 978-422-3032. The Sterling Cultural Council, in conjunction with the Massachusetts Cultural Council, is hosting Art in the Park on Saturday, August 21st from 10 to 4 p.m. Artists and crafters will be there selling creations in the town green, and at the gazebo in Memorial Park, there will be a full lineup of musicians and performing artists. All performances are free to the public.
The Rosemary Davis Nature Series presents Animal Adventures on the Town Green on Wednesday, August 11th at 6 p.m. All ages are welcome to this hands-on learning experience. For questions, please call Thayer Memorial Library at 978-368-8928. The Lancaster Community Center is turning 10. Join the celebration on August 24th from 4 to 7 p.m. on the town green. Enjoy food, desserts, fun, and games. You can find more information on the community center pages of the town website. Please RSVP for the barbecue by calling 978-733-4076. The 138th Bolton Fair will be held on August 13th, 14th, and 15th. Come celebrate the heritage, culture, and community with family fun, entertainment, friendly competition, and educational experiences. The Bolton Fair will be held at the fairgrounds at Lancaster on 7 Bridge Road. For more information, visit boltonfair.org.
And now let's head over to Lex Thomas with part 2 of the interview with Parkinson Support Group founder Joe O'Connor.
I'm here today with Joe O'Connor. He is the founder of the Parkinson's disease support group that meets at the senior center here in Sterling the second and fourth Wednesday of each month. Now, of course, the group started pre-pandemic. During the pandemic, it was held entirely by Zoom, and there was still a significant participation during that time. And now on July 28th, it resumed in person, but also as a hybrid so that you can tune in by Zoom. So welcome, Joe. Thank you. It's wonderful to be speaking with you again.
It's great to be speaking with you too, Lex.
Now, tell me again, I know that we went over this recently, but tell me again a little bit about the group, who can attend, and how this all got started.
Yes, anyone who has Parkinson's or who is a support person for someone who has Parkinson's is certainly welcome to attend. This is a Parkinson's group, so people with other diseases, they wouldn't find much of interest to them here. But basically, anyone, like I say, with Parkinson's or is a caregiver or a care partner for somebody with Parkinson's is welcome to attend. They do not have to be from Sterling. They just simply have to have a desire to want to talk with other people about Parkinson's issues and how things are going.
Now, I know that this started out being in the Worcester region, but I think during the pandemic, with things being on Zoom, I think you were telling me that you had attracted participants from really far and wide, a lot further outside the scope of just the Worcester area.
Thank you, Lex. That's absolutely correct. We have gotten people from as far away as Arizona and Pennsylvania that have attended a couple of meetings because they wanted to just see what it was about. And, we look forward to people, if they want to continue Zooming, they can Zoom from, wherever is comfortable for them. But we're also very excited about getting back face to face and being able to see each other and share with each other and perhaps, discover some new things that we may not be able to discover via Zoom or a call or something like that.
Sure. That must be very exciting to be able to be in person with people again. I think it's marvelous that you kept this going during the pandemic. And I'm especially impressed that really the participation was so large, which tells me that there really is a need for this support group.
Yes, I think definitely there was a need for us. Um, the participation was very much on par with other support groups around the country that have that were running during the pandemic, um, and we're hoping to get back to having a lot of people attending face to face, so that we can really communicate with each other. While Zoom is a wonderful tool, it does have its limitations. One of the biggest being that it has to be used in a serial fashion, that you can't have two people talking. And a lot of times at our support group meetings, people would have questions of some of the presenters we brought in, and we would have to go through those questions in a serial fashion, as opposed to a much more desirable, just hands up and what I'm interested in.
Sure. Now, the group meets, I believe, the second and fourth Wednesday of the month. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And what time are the meetings?
The meetings are at 3:30 to 5-ish, and we basically don't. We basically don't, cut people off at 5 and say, okay, that's it. But the senior center does have to close at a certain point in time.
Sure. Now, just tell me kind of how a meeting runs. What are the sorts of things that you discuss? What can people expect to hear and to see?
Sure. Our meetings, typically what we do is we begin the meeting with introductions of all the people. We've been picking up people. In fact, we just picked up a person last week who was who actually saw us on Sterling-Lancaster Community TV, which is really gratifying to me.
Excellent. Yeah.
But basically, what we do is we'll go around the table. We talk about our when we were diagnosed, because that is a big date for us people with Parkinson's, and how we're doing. And then we'll basically, just have a free form discussion. That's if we don't have a presenter. A lot of times we have had presenters. We're looking forward to having some presenters already in the fall have contacted me. The STEP lab at Boston University has a number of opportunities for clinical trials they would love to get people involved in. So we're going to have somebody from the STEP lab either here, or they may be on Zoom. That'll be interesting. We'll have to see what comes of that. We also have a gentleman who's a friend of mine who has taught me about poetry, and he is based in Colorado, and he has come out to the group. Actually, we're his most come out to group. He's come out to the group 3 times. We're planning to have him sometime during the fall as well. And then we have a lot of presentations from the different pharmaceutical companies, where they are interested in finding out what people's opinions are, or perhaps suggesting to people that there's ways that they can improve their life, maybe by using their pharmaceutical, maybe just by hearing some of the information. We also have places that do durable medical supplies for Parkinson's. We actually were planning to launch that right before the pandemic hit. So we're looking forward to also working with those people again this fall. So we have a wide range of topics that we talk about. And we just, try to keep things close to what people need to know and are comfortable with sharing.
And that, it sounds like a wonderful resource for people as well, information wise. Now, you did mention clinical trials. Is there a lot of research going on at this time around Parkinson's?
Yes, indeed. But Lex, there was a lot of research going on. I myself am participating in my 38th clinical trial. So I wouldn't send people to do something that I won't do myself.
Sure. Yeah.
So at any rate, yes, there is a lot of research. It's a very interesting time for those of us with Parkinson's with the work from the Michael J. Fox Foundation and the work from my organization, the Davis Finney Foundation, we see that a lot of studies are being done to either detect Parkinson's earlier and hopefully arrest the damage that is done, or to in fact cure the symptoms of Parkinson's. We're still waiting for the magic bullet that actually gets rid of Parkinson's. We haven't seen that, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Absolutely. Now, it seems to me that when you're talking about really any chronic illness and anything that really impacts life this way, for patients, for their caregivers, for their families, there can often be a real sense of isolation, a real sense of, I'm the only one going through this, or I'm the only one experiencing this. And what I can really see as a huge benefit of a group like this is being able to bring people together to talk about what they're comfortable talking about, to listen, to just hear, even if they don't really contribute to the discussion, to hear and to hopefully reduce that sense of isolation.
Absolutely, Lex. I mean, that's one of the biggest things that we perform, is just having a chance for all of us to get together and discuss a disease that we have that, quite frankly, has to be lived to understand it completely. And I think that that's a huge benefit of it. Also, I kind of proudly say that studies have shown that people are getting more from support groups than they are from anything else. And I don't think that that's necessarily just the people who come to present. I think it's the people in the group being willing to share. We had a gentleman who showed up at the group, and he was talking about how his wife was having trouble. She was the person with Parkinson's, and she came with him. But how his wife was having trouble with sleeping, and he had discovered that getting in what's called a grounding blanket, which is a blanket that just basically plugs into an outlet with only a ground lead to it, helped her tremendously. Now, I know a couple of other people in the group have adopted that as a result of that person sharing. But that's just an example of it. We have that type of stuff every meeting, and it really helps out all of us to understand how we can best cope with our disease.
And I think what you just said too about, you have to live it to really understand it, as empathic and as knowledgeable as one's doctors and specialists and whatnot are, obviously, and can be. There still has to be something to be said for being together and communicating with other people who are living it as their day-to-day reality. And as you say, sharing these, little tricks and hacks and things that, maybe you don't have time to mention to your doctor, or it all happens, between appointments or whatever. And this way, people can really connect with each other.
Yes, Lex, that's absolutely true. I mean, I think that the support groups are very, very important. I also belong to another support group where I'm not the leader, which is my chance to be the person with Parkinson's as opposed to the support group leader. So, I mean,
Sure.
I definitely believe that support groups are absolutely a wonderful way for all of us that have the disease to be able to communicate. And you're absolutely correct. The doctors and the nurses really do try to help us as much as they can, but they're limited in the amount of stuff that they can basically tell us, not because of medical liability or something like that, but more because of the fact that they're not living the disease. This other support group that I belong to is a support group that is headed by people with Parkinson's. And the reason I prefer that kind of a support group is because the focus is on trying to live with the disease, trying to help other people with the disease. And there is no academic credential or anything like that. It is more, hey, this worked for me, might work for you, didn't work for you, might work for you type of thing. Because there is a saying about Parkinson's: when you met one person with Parkinson's, you met one person with Parkinson's. Right. It is a very unusual disease that way, in the sense that all of us get impacted differently.
Yes. Yes, and I'm sure that anybody that deals with a chronic illness realizes that that's very, very much the case. That one person is one person's experience, so to have the opportunity to share is just fantastic. All right, down to brass tacks. So I know that you resumed in person or as a hybrid on July 28th, second and fourth Wednesday of each month. 3:30 to 5 at the Sterling Senior Center. Now, for people to get involved by Zoom, how do they do that? Do they contact you? What's the protocol?
Yes, thank you, Lex. They are supposed to contact me. They can reach me at either North WORC Parkies at yahoo.com, or they can reach me on my regular email address, which is josephoc at yahoo.com. They can also reach me by cell phone, which is 508-335-0672. Like a lot of people in Sterling, I live in a cell phone hole, so if I don't get back to you that quickly, it is me. It's not like I've got a battery of people that are answering my phone or something like that. So I will get back to people. It's just a question of sometimes I can't find a place that I can make a call from.
Sure. Joe, thanks once again for joining me, and all the best with the group. I'm so glad that you are once again able to meet in person. I know that that makes a huge difference to you and to the participants, but also to be able to offer this via Zoom for people that are outside the area or who for any reason can't get in is just a marvelous resource. All the best to you with your health and to the group.
Thank you very much, Lex. And it was great talking with you again.
Good talking with you too, Joe. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
On my bookshelf right now is The Constellation of Alarion by John Houlihan. John Houlihan is a popular game designer and indie British novelist known for his unique take of combining history and horror. The Constellation of Alarion, however, is a collection of short science fiction stories that explores the motivations of human beings and how technology sometimes reflect our good and dark natures. There are softer, inflective short stories like Carers, where the protagonist feels obsolete in the care of a loved one due to medical robots. There are also more action-oriented stories like Trial by Combat, where law is decided by virtual reality. If you're a fan of Ray Bradbury-like science fiction and adventure, this book is for you.
And that's all we have time for.
We'll see you next time on Community Updates.